Let's get it. It's a great day here in the QC, Charlotte, North Carolina. And as always, I'm so glad to see it. I hope everyone else is well, as we always say, and that you're able to get out and enjoy this day like I am, even though it's wet and much colder here in Charlotte. But we're not going to complain. At least we can see the day, and we can get out and enjoy it, one way or the other. Let me take a sip of this water. It does stink under this shelter. It smells like a body. And that's something powerful, because that thought of a body leads right into my thought of today. And it is, put off, put on. What's your motivation? And we're coming out of Colossians 3, 8 and 9, and then 12 through 16. But now you also put off all these: anger, wrath, malice, blasphemy, filthy communication out of your mouth. Lie not one to another, seeing that you have put off the old man with his deeds, hence the smell dead. But put on therefore, and this is 12 through 16, put on therefore as the elect of the Most High, holy and beloved, bowels of mercies, kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, long-suffering, forbearing one another, and forgiving one another, if any man have a quarrel against any, even as Christ, or the Machiach, forgave you, so also do you. And above all these things, put on charity, which is the bond of perfection, or perfectness. And let the peace of the Most High rule in your hearts, to the which also you are called in one body, and be ye thankful. Let the word of Machiach dwell in you richly in all wisdom, teaching and admonishing one another in psalms and in hymns and spiritual songs, singing with grace in your hearts to the Most High. Amen. And also, let me read this. It was something interesting I looked up. And that song, Put On, we know from Jeezy, was put out a few years ago, quite a few years ago, and was basically saying he was putting on for his city. And I'm asking the question now, are we putting on for the kingdom of the Most High? But first we have to learn to take off. And put off means, of course I looked it up, put off in the dictionary means postpone something, cause someone to lose interest or enthusiasm. But put on means place a garment, piece of jewelry, elect on part of one's body, cause a device to operate. I thought those were some interesting definitions of put on and put off. But we see and hear what we must take off or put off, as the text says, and then we see what we must clothe ourselves in. Pardon me. And this is a quite interesting script, because I myself had a disagreement with a brother, and the Most High had him on my mind something terrible this morning. And of course I prayed and went back to sleep. and said, okay, Most High, you have your way with the situation. I'm not gonna hold any anger or bitterness towards this fella, or strife or offense, which I already apologized to the fella before, and I meant it, but the Most High brought him back in my ruach this morning. So the first thing I see when I wake up was a message from this brother, and he was saying that he heard I had death in the family, which is true. Which is true, which I'm just now thinking of this, which I had to put off any residual effects of that disagreement, which was dying to self. So once again, I had to come back and apologize for any part that I may have played in the situation, and for the situation going sour altogether. Because I do believe this fellow is a child of the Most High, but we just have different outlooks. And the falling apart came when I wasn't gonna see things the way he saw them, because the Most High told me not to, because he didn't teach me that way. But all in all, I think the situation is done, and I put on that air of thanksgiving and forgiveness and long suffering and forbearance, and I put off that malice, the strife, and all those other things that the text said we should put off. And see, that was another test passed. Are you really over this, or are you gonna have strife? And see, what happened was he texted me saying that he heard I had death in the family, like I said, and that he just wanted to extend his condolences and to wish me well and pray that I keep pushing forward. Stay up, as he said, which is one of my main sayings. So he threw that back at me. So I'm like, no doubt, I appreciate that. Thank you, but no losses. No losses. No one passed but me. I died to self, another death today, and I thank the Most High for it. And we're gonna keep pushing, get these squats in, and get on around this track. And see, as the second part of my thought being, what's your motivation? I need to speak on that. Because as I was telling one of my consistent viewers, who I don't care what's going on, this brother would come on and watch my recordings and put a like or a love on it. And what I told him, pardon me, and what I told him overnight, well, last night, was that I appreciate him. And his name is Kenyon, a brother I met off HebrewConnect.com. And that means a lot to a brother. It really does, because like the Most High told me when I saw that, he said, see, Robert, somebody else is listening besides me. I was like, oh boy. Which in reality, what he's telling me is that he's all I need to be concerned about. And see, a lot of times, I know I have to speak for myself. I get physical minded or fleshly minded, as our thought for today is telling us not to. Well, actually, it's telling us to put it off. And I want to see some fruit. And he already told me, sometimes you're not going to be able to see what your work is going to produce. Basically, the work you're putting in, you're not always going to see the increase, is what he told me. Just like our brother Paul said, I should say great uncle Paul, pardon me, he said that Apollos watered, or he planted, Apollos watered, but the Most High gave the increase, or gives the increase. So that has to be one of the number one motives that we place our foundation on for whatever we do for the Most High. As the text says, whatever you do for him, that's what's gonna stand. And to do it all, or to give your all, in my own words. But yeah, that has to be our motivation. Pardon me, I know that's the wife. Okay. And as I thought that was the wife, she was calling me, telling me to be safe out here in the rain, like a loving wife would do. But I was speaking on motivation. And see, That's my number one motivation. One of them anyway, is to be a witness for the Most High and not to mess up my witness by getting into strife and offense with another brother, and we're both his sons. That's ignorant. That would be ignorant on my part, I should say. But yeah, what's your motivation? Is your motivation the kingdom and being a witness to your brother and sister that may be on the way to hell and the lake of fire? I think we should really think on that. Or like one of my teachers say, we need to salah that for a minute. And I say one of my teachers, but a teacher that I have listened to in the past. And like my uncle Lord would say, we need to lay down and think about that for a moment. And basically, what that script is telling me, more than anything else, is that we need to get our houses in order and keep them in order for the glory of the Most High, that is. And not for our own glory, because we will start putting on an air of fakeness, and that's not what the Most High wants. He wants for you to be real and be the individual he created you to be. Pardon me. And looks like once again, the Most High has timed our regimen or workout perfectly. Because it just stopped raining. And on the most part, it's been sprinkling all day. Well, it rained overnight, I ain't gonna lie. But it's right at a point where it's not too much water on the ground, or not a lot of puddles, I should say. That's my main concern. But we're gonna jump on this bike. Most High willing, get these 5 or so miles in, and then take it to the house. Shalom. I was so tempted to take that inside track today. I see that van got gone. Probably one of the workers had it out here. But yeah, I and my legs was thinking about this hill overnight. This is part of the come up. New mountain, new hill. But I've been training my whole life for this one hill. it's gonna take me on up and over my next hill. Nice challenge. But then we get this downhill. To enjoy. And the grain has somewhat settled the rocks that I was complaining about yesterday. I came through there yesterday, I ain't say nothing, but I went over that wood divider and my foot came off the pedal. I think the Most High came straight back down on it, and that it didn't slip to the left or to the right. That would have been ugly. But what the Most High say?